Pokemon gym. And then on the other side of the school, like where I work, there's another Pokemon gym. So it's just like, as I'm walking throughout the day, I can like capture 2 gyms. And I'm just like, yes, give me all your Pokecoins.
I don't really play it anymore, but I do have Pokemon Go.
I managed to catch a 803 Skarmory at my park.
Oh, congrats. I am like 3 candies away from getting my like 3rd all-time favorite Pokemon, Flygon. I just need just a few more candies, and I've been walking him. So
Your all-time favorite, and you can't even say his name right.
How do you say his name?
Gone. Flygon.
No, it's like dragon.
Gone with the wind?
Yeah, Dragon.
No, you don't say dragon. It's dragon. Like Flagon.
It's like Dragon.
Yeah. If there's an anime pronunciation of the anime doesn't count.
What are we talking about?
The Pokemon. There's so many Pokemon though that I've mispronounced. I can't remember like one. Gosh, there's one that like for years I was saying it incorrectly until I actually read its thing, and it was like I found an R in it that wasn't there. But yeah, anyways, we'll start as soon as I confirm this is all up. My number 1 favorite Pokemon, it's a toss-up right now.
Eevee. Hands down.
Ooh, my internet quit working there.
My number 1 toss-up is between Noivern and Minshao, followed very closely by Nidoking, then Flygon, and then the 4th place is 4th place probably belongs to Confagoras from 5th gen, the Coffin Pokemon.
Coffagrigus?
Yeah, exactly, that one.
I'm gonna make Brandon just boot me from this game before I even get back in it. I have so many C dots and not transfer any of them.
We are officially live. Here we go.
Yay. Who are we again?
Yeah, what do we do here? Because I don't know. It's been so long. Anyways, hello everybody. Welcome to the Ilderon Tales. This is Group F, Sand and Shadows. I was very hesitant if we would even still be having this campaign and what I was going to do with it, but everybody, well, most of the party showed up tonight. We have had a switch up in this party, and I'll be controlling a lot of characters. Yeah, so let's just dive into it since it's been so long. I'm going to do a in-depth recap. I'll try not to take more than 10 minutes of your time. But, you know, I want you guys to have 0 questions. Well, I don't care if you have questions. I'll answer them anyways.
Fuck your questions.
Well, I think a better thing to do. Oh my gosh, why didn't I think of this before? Let's have everybody give a recap and see what everybody knows, and then we'll, you know, dive into the session. So anyways, before we do that, we are playing Dungeons & Dragons tonight. It is a role-playing game, and everything you are going to see tonight is unscripted. It is live storytelling, and I have no idea what's going to happen. Neither do the players. We are playing in a homebrewed campaign setting called Ilderon. Ilderon is this huge, expansive world. It is about the size, and I say huge, it's about the size of medieval Europe. And it's got all of these cultures and all of these people like packed into these confined spaces next to each other. It is mostly civilized. And the defining trait of Ilderon is there is one prime material plane, and all of the gods and mortals walk the same plane together. There is some astral, extra worldly stuff going on, but that doesn't matter for this group. This group's storyline specifically is taking place in a region of the world known as the Darius Desert, in the nation of the Darken Vale. The Darken Vale is a nation filled with a race of people by the name of Terai. They are an undead race of mortals who have had their souls stolen, and in order to keep surviving, they have to steal and consume other people's souls. Otherwise, they wither away and die. That said, most people don't like them, and they've been pushed to the far corner of the world. So before I get into what this group, or actually I will give a brief description of what this group is doing. This group is in a town called Fort Dalewatch. A very powerful necromancer has returned to the world by the name of Olivia, the Lost One. She is a shatterer of ancient times, and she has destroyed empires and nations before. She was apprenticed to a very dark and evil god, and two gods basically came together and killed her, and have killed her twice, and for some reason she's returned to Ilderon. For that is not this group's story. However, because she's returned, in pockets of the world, little tiny cults and fanatic worship of her is popping up and becoming more popular, and the Darken Vale specifically, as they are a nation of undead people, struggle to stop people from worshiping this necromancer, and the Ilderon cult that's popping up here is getting kind of out of hand. The magistrate, or the Relistrate, which is the name of the magistrate in this area, has issued a decree. If anybody can solve this problem, he will reward people handsomely. The party has bonded together to try and get more information on this cult and find out what they're doing in this region. That said, let's ping pong between each group of people and tell us from your character's perspective what they believe is going on and what they're doing here. So, Anthony, how about, since you're, a veteran of the campaign, how about you start us off with Madara?
Last thing I remember is we were talking with somebody about setting up a trap using the person who's no longer in the group, giving them a fake title, and having the cultists come and try to capture him so we could jump him.
Alrighty. Jackal, tell us what Hunter is doing in this region and what you remember is going on.
Hunter's in this region, mostly because he heard of he's a monster hunter by trade, and basically he's here to hunt the Illuminati.
Hunter is here to do his name.
Hunter is basically going to be here for his namesake. I remember I was going to interrogate someone who may or may not deserve it, and that's really about it.
Alrighty. And Melissa, tell us what Constance is doing in this region and what you last remember for the session.
First of all, bold of you to assume I remember anything. Let's see, Connie's in the region because she's looking for an important person. And the last thing I remember, yeah, we were talking to somebody about setting up a trap. Yeah.
Alright. So, I'm going to do a in-depth recap, if that's okay with you guys. And Gal. This, it is the third of Hunter. Or no, it is the fourth of Hunter. In the region of, or in the Darken Vale. You guys are in Fort Dalewatch. The last, when you guys got to this region, you found out that the Ilderon had been specifically kidnapping people with souls, taking the Relistrate's assistant, and then they also kidnapped a child belonging to a ranger captain in this region. And that child was, you guys later found out, was a very lucky Terrai, that this 1 in a million chance, a Terrai child, like Terrai most of the time have stillborns, and it's a 1 in a million chance they have a living child, and then if they have a living child, it's like 1 in 1,000 chance that that living child has a soul. And not only was this child born, but she also had a soul. So she was kidnapped, and the party decided to investigate it further. The party woke up that morning with Ginil being forced to room with a woman by the name of Chuskin, who is somebody who was working for the Relistrate and the assistant. When the assistant was kidnapped, she claimed she had information on the cultists, and that she would help you guys if you helped her. From there, Ginil, the cleric that had joined you guys to help find this cult and eradicate them, was seeming very uncomfortable around around Chuskin, and the party did not question it. Later, the party went to speak with the ranger captain, whose daughter went missing, and they found out that there is some political intrigue going on in the region, as I like to pepper into all of my campaigns. Path Captain Valissa Softtooth informed the party that her daughter was kidnapped out of the fortress itself, and that the Ilderon cultists have influence in some of the most secure places of Fort Daywatch. And she informed the party that there are several factions competing for not only the Empress's favor, but control over this region within Fort Daywatch. And she was appointing a new path captain, a man by the name of Captain Risilix, that's it. Risilix. And she was informing him of the going-ons in this region before the party interrupted her. Outside of the room, before they got there, they met a woman by the name of Constance Hawk, who was in this region looking for for somebody who possibly might have gone missing or might be associated with these cultists, and was trying to get more information from the path captain. Risilix informed the party that not only is there those several different factions in town, there is a Anthalar, a very high-ranking member of a secret organization by the name of the Silver Sigil, is roaming through town someplace, presumably doing business of the Silver Sigil. And additionally, a group of bandits named that goes by the name the Crown have planted themselves. Oh no, not the Crown. The Crown. There are bandits inside of Fort Daywatch, and it's very unorthodox for the Crown to work inside of the Darkened Vale, as they have a good relation with the Undying Empress. So the party learned that there was a robbery at a chantry of Umia, as she is one of the only ascended gods worshipped in the Darkened Vale, as she was the one who originally showed the Terrai mercy and allowed them to survive. And that said, the party all remembered that they had met a very unorthodox member of the Chantry of Unity, and she was very eager to get out of the Darkened Vale, And the party started to suspect that Chuskin was one of these bandits that participated in the robbery on the Chantry of Unity. From there, the party brought Chuskin to the Path Captain's office in Fort Dalewatch and began to question her. She gave you guys information on the cult and how she knows what she knows about them. And there were still some half-truths in her words. And the party decided that they wanted to question her further. As to what other information they have to glean from her, that's still to be determined. Otherwise, that's where we are going to pick up. It is the late afternoon of the 4th of Hunter. And you are all in the Path Captain's office. Velissa has left, and Path Captain Risalix has taken over her position. Inside the office with you is Chuskin, Risalix, and your new NPC, Ginel Saphenstone.
Ooh.
Oh.
All right.
So, remind me if, didn't we literally leave off with, shooting the person we suspected working with the person in the knee?
Oh, yeah, you did shoot her in the knee, didn't you? Yeah, she told you a half-truth, and then you shot her in the knee.
I don't think it was quite like that, but wasn't she about to make a run for it?
She's not running anywhere.
Well, she's not running anywhere anymore, but I felt like she was about to make a run for it. And I shot her in the knee. That's what I remember.
Alright, so let's go to a little bit more intense music. Because, let's get some tension going. Alright, so, and that's a little bit too much. We'll just turn that down. Alright, so it is the, it is the 4th of Hunter. You are in the Path Captain's office overlooking the alleys and... Oh my gosh, what was that? Overlooking the alleys and streets of Fort Dalewatch. There is a bleeding Chuskin in front of you on the floor. And she's going to just be holding... she's going to be holding her leg and pull... it's an arrow or a crossbow bolt that Hunter uses. Okay, yeah, and she's going to pull the crossbow bolt out, and she's going to say, "We're on the same side, idiot!"
I'm going to shoot her again!
You can make an attack roll at her.
Yeah, I'm using the hand crossbow.
You hit. Roll damage.
Is damage not on there?
Is that,
Oh, no.
Yeah, damage is not on there.
I forget, what's a hand crossbow again? That's a D8?
A hand crossbow should be a D6. A regular crossbow should be a D8. Let me double check though, because who knows? If you click hand crossbow, it should come up.
I think it's a D8 because it says the heavy crossbow is a D10.
Okay, yeah, you might be right on that then. A hand crossbow is going to be a D6 of piercing. Heavy crossbow is a D10. I'm gonna let you keep that roll at max damage, but it's gonna be 8 points of damage instead of
Okay.
So it's 1d6 plus 2 is going to be 8 points of damage. You're going to shoot her. Do you aim for the leg again?
I aim for the other knee.
And as she's like on the ground, Triagene, and it already looks like Chuskin got into a fight, by the way. She's missing a finger. Her clothes are dirty. She's been hiding out. And as you shoot the other knee, she's gonna just look and say, "Why?"
Oh,
Frankly, I don't trust you. Also, it's fun.
She is. I think she's bloodied. Oh yeah, I don't have her stats on here. Yeah, she's bloodied. And at that, Rissalix is going to walk around from the table towards her and kneel down and inspect her and say, "I think you've made your point." Chuskin.
We have questions for you, darling.
And she's gonna look up at you with just like horror and pain in her face and say, "I was answering."
No, you were lying.
He's crass, but he has a point. You weren't being honest with us. Maybe this will teach you hiding the truth is as bad as not telling all of it.
I'll be right back. I need to grab something.
Yes?
She is gonna look northwards and say, "I just want to leave the Vale."
Well, as we stated, we can still provide service for that. But there seems to be an issue that you may or may not be aware of, more than you originally intended. And my friend here, who is very skittish, seems to say that there's something more to you than you're letting on. So how about you tell us everything, or we can let the little one go back to using you as a quiver.
I'm pretty sure I'm like 5 something. I'm not little.
My character's like 6'3", everyone's little to her.
Roll me a persuasion check, or you can roll an intimidation check. I will.
If you roll for me, I'm upstairs. Like I could do an intimidation.
I'll give Madara advantage on it. Hunter provides the help action.
Okay. Oh, wow. I thought they changed it again. Intimidation or persuasion? Let's see. Persuasion would be better.
Believe in yourself.
14 or 15.
Alright. At a 15, she's gonna just kind of look around this room, surveying her options. And she's gonna say, okay, look, I didn't have anything to do with the Ilderon at first.
At first. So you have something to do with them now?
She shakes her head and says, "Some friends and I came in from Darkin Port. When they started hearing stories of what was going on here, they got wrapped up in it. our guide convinced them to join.
Who was your guide?
She's, well, let's see. She, shakes her head and shrugs and says, I don't know. She said she worked in this, fortress.
I would like to make a nation check as I slowly raise bow chest height for
You want to make a what?
intimidation check.
Okay, would you like me to roll it for you?
No, I'm here.
Okay. You can roll an insight.
Well, I guess insight and intimidation.
Yeah, well, first your insight to determine if
Natural
you
20.
need to. Yeah, she looks thoroughly lost in the matter. She definitely got wrapped up in something like bigger than her.
Alright, still making that intimidation, like not letting her know that I still think like she's lying.
And she's going to like raise her hands like in defense, covering her face, and say, "Look, I don't know. I honestly don't. She had the insignia of Fort Dalewatch. We thought she was trustworthy."
Could
Slowly
you
lower it again?
could you maybe describe them to a scribe to recreate her image, maybe?
She's gonna roll a history check on how well she remembers her. She is going to shake her head and say, last time I saw her, she looked nothing like when we met. She's covered in insignias, glowing runes.
The last time? When did you last see her?
Can I make a history check on, do I know any, or actually I'm going to change the question. I'm going to ask her, like, can you describe what those runes?
Yeah, she will.
And then I'm also going to pull out my little black book.
To the
Journal.
notes.
And basically I'm going to try to recreate what they looked like in the journal.
All right. She is going to roll a history check on these runes, and she does not speak Old Tongue. She's going to say, actually, I've got to go.
A question: when you say Old Tongue, is it like Old Tongue, or are you talking like a different? Like
It's
my type of Old Tongue.
yeah, Old Tongue, not primordial.
It's not primordial.
Oh yeah, the deep speak or whatever you have, the God speak.
The old one speak.
And she is going to say, she's gonna draw something, and I have the characters for this, but I'm not gonna like go and look through. I'm not gonna go and look through that thing because I don't want to pull it up and decide which one is which. But she's gonna draw a symbol, and Ganil is going to recognize it and say, "Oh, that's Gin," and she's gonna say, "This one was on her chest, and this one was on her neck, and she will draw a last one, Which was... Oh, here it is. The last one she is going to recognize and say, in this one, I know it meant pestilence. It was on her back. The second one, anyone can roll a history check on.
Oh, dump stat, here I come. Middle of the road.
Does anybody speak Old Tongue, by the way?
I speak Abyssal.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Aren't you a tiefling? You should know Abyssal by default.
I'm not a tiefling.
No, not you.
Me? No.
She's a half-orc.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
And this one was
Oh no.
Gallignon. There we go. Alright, so everybody is going to... Oh, hey, you guys have a scholar with you. Let's see. Ganil is going to look at these. And Ganil speaks Old Tongue. Look at that. As everybody is like struggling to figure out what these mean as she's like drawing them, Ganil is going to point to Gin and say, that's the concept of fear. Endale is death and harvest combined. And she'll say perhaps a blight of sorts. And Gallignon would be the spreading of death and darkness. That's, of course, easily referred to as pestilence.
So, basic cult gibberish.
And Chuskin, who's, trying to triage her leg at this point, is going to say, yeah, and I didn't want anything to do with them.
What about the book?
And she's going to say, what book?
I believe our friend Ganel here said she walked in on you with a book when all of this started.
And Chuskin is going to kind of exhale and say, yes, that book. It's from the Chantry of Unity.
So you were trying to study up to keep
Can I make
with
an insight
your
on that?
You can.
lie?
It looks like she is telling the truth. Of just, you guys have her surrounded. She's bleeding on the floor. Ganil sold out all her secrets. Doesn't have much of a reason left to lie to you.
May we see the book? Just for purposes of verifying your story. We're in dark times, and trust is a hard thing to earn, especially when you lost it, coming to a state where we believe you to be a spy. No?
She is going to nod and say, It's a strange tome.
I've experienced most tomes are very strange. Secrets are not always a secret. No?
She finally relents, nodding and handing over the book. The runes on it glow with actual moving water on the cover.
Oof. I will try to read any of it I can.
Okay, let me grab my notes on this one.
Roll a DC 100 Wisdom saving throw. As you are now stricken with the power of a god.
She is going to hand over the book, and it is looking at the cover of it. Madara recognizes loosely that this is just stamped with like a sigil of the Chantry of Unity. But it doesn't necessarily, it's not necessarily like a word or anything. It's just like this rune, constantly like moving over it. Opening the page and trying to read this. Let's see what page you're going to flip through to. You are going to notice there are some pages with these runes on them also. But with like these moving water runes, like almost like they're a piece of the, like the ink on the page is just kind of like flowing, and it also glows. But flipping through, occasionally there are areas of writing, and the page you are going to flip through is written in it's written across two languages. One you can understand, and jumping in and out of a language you can't understand, with parts of it in common. The basic text is going to say and we traveled for 3 months on our goddess's task, only to investigate the validity of this. Although she teaches of mercy, I too am hesitant in these times. And that's just what you get just flipping it open.
Alright, Madara's gonna take it, looking at it, kinda turning it. Best way to describe it is steering wheel style, just kinda like back and forth. Close it, look over at Ganel and go, Is this the book that you saw her reading the other night?
Ganel is going to look at it and nod and say, "Oh, I've only seen, or actually, no, Ganel's gonna never have seen books like this," and she's gonna say, "I've never seen anything like that in the Chantry before. At least not the one in Heimsdale."
You are a follower of Umiya, yes?
Ganel nods.
Most of this, I can only make out about half of what it says. Maybe you can make more heads or tails of what it says?
She is going to take it, read it and roll a history check. Rolling a 2. She's gonna take the book, flip through it, flip to a glowing page, just kind of look at all the moving ink, turn to a page with words on it, read, and then just kind of look up, and then get a little bit uncomfortable. It's like, I can't read it with everybody looking at me. This takes time. She rolls a 2.
Well, we have other matters to attend to. Maybe we can have you try to decipher it at another time. For now, as a show of good faith, why don't you heal her legs so she can actually move? Yes?
Right. Ganel is going to bend down and cast healing or cure wounds on her leg, and she is she heals for 11 points of damage, healing most of the wounds and mending the flesh. Chuskin is no longer bleeding. And Ganel is going to look up and say, "And you wanted to kill me."
Oh, darling, if we wanted to kill you, you'd be dead.
Oh, no, she says that to Chuskin. Chuskin threatened her.
Oh.
It's like,
Don't worry, Ganel. If she had even attempted to, her head would have been mounted in your bedroom wall. Madara says with a genuine smile on her face.
Ganel, like, a huge, long expression of just surprise goes over her face. She's a cleric of life and mercy, and she's just gonna, like, say, "I would never want that!"
oh, if that's the case, we can mount her on my wall.
Phrasing, darling, phrasing. As for now, Cheskin, I believe our new friend here will probably want to keep you in some kind of holding until this full investigation is done and over with, yes?
Rislix is going to nod and say, "I'm more interested in who hired her for this job. Yes, come, let's put you in the cells of Dale Watch. We'll talk more later."
And when we are done with our task, we will be back for you to keep our end of the deal. If you are found to be truly innocent, we will get you out of here as promised.
Yeah, and Chuskin's gonna just, like, get up, you know, holding her leg and hobbling. Yes, I'm just a victim in all of this.
We're all victims in this, darling.
Convenient victims.
Risalix is going to take her by the arm into the hallway and gesture for the zombie guard that's out there to come forward. The man's going to hobble forward on his spear and say, "Yes!" And he points to Chuskin and say, "Watch this one. To the dungeons. I'll talk to her later." He stomps his staff and says, "It shall be done, Path Captain."
Our apology for having things get a little dirty on your watch, Pack Captain.
Yeah. Mud's gonna say, "And if there's one thing I don't like, it's dirt."
Relevant, but anyways.
Risalix nods and says, "Well, without her, are you still planning to spring your trap, or did you want to investigate? Did you want to investigate the paths deeper?"
Well, I will leave that to a consensus with my friends here. What do you say? I still say the trap could be very beneficial, but I will leave it to everyone else's discretion as well. I'm just throwing ideas, as you would say.
I have an idea for a trap.
Seven's going to speak up and say, is it an idea that doesn't involve me posing as an Anthalar of the Silver Sigil? Because I'd be very, very, very open to that idea.
Actually, yes.
I thought you were all for that idea, Zevin.
Zevin's gonna look a little uncomfortable and say, gaining official titles? Yes. Parading around with fake titles? Never been my strong suit.
No. Well, my idea is more, instead of a person, we more lie in wait. There's a certain item that you think they might be going for. Maybe set it up for display and patiently wait for them to walk right in, as it were.
And Captain Risselix is going to gesture towards the book and say, you think they're after that?
Not sure.
It's a curiosity, at least. I've never seen text move in such a way. And the last time they attacked was around the presence of said book. It's not a unheard of assumption, you know?
I'm willing to bet that these cultists have spies within the guards. Maybe spread the word that we are protecting a specific item. See if anyone takes the bait.
Risselix nods and says, he's gonna look over the party and say, this whole ordeal, I've got slots that need to be filled down below in the paths. If either of you want to take up any of those posts and start spreading the word, I will allow that.
Zevin, you are a man of good words, and people seem to enjoy when you tell them things. Might not be a bad post for you. They seem to like you well enough.
Zevin's gonna put his teeth together and just kind of look uncomfortable and say, Path Scout is so below me.
But to work your way up to the Empress's favor, you have to start somewhere, no?
No. Don't think of it as you're a Path Scout. Think of it as you're an undercover agent pretending to be a Path Scout.
Not to mention you'd be doing the Undying Empress a huge service, no?
A large grin is going to grow across Zevin's face, and he's going to say, yes, of course. How could I have been so blind?
We can send Cahill down with you for now. As backup, she seems to have taken a slight fancy to you. In the sense of, she doesn't seem to fear you as much as some other people.
Ganil's going to point to him and say, well, he hasn't threatened to kill me.
Sometimes fear is the best way to get things done.
There is an old saying, my friend. You catch more flies with honey than vinegar.
I find the traditional method of stalking and shooting to work quite well, though.
What say you? Excuse me, I know we just met, but I do seem to have forgotten your name, my friend.
Attention shifts towards Constance.
Oh. I'm Constance, but you can call me Connie. That's...
Connie. Yes. I don't think we've actually introduced ourselves to you yet, either.
No.
Everything just kind of all happened at once.
Well, watching you guys shoot somebody in the knee is definitely one way to introduce yourself.
My little friend here is bow happy, I believe is what they say. Yes?
Close enough.
Well, you can't say trigger happy, there's no such thing as a trigger yet.
What do you think I'm using? It's a crossbow!
That's fair. I thought you were using your bow for some reason in my head. Sorry.
I don't have a bow. It's literally just a crossbow.
Fair enough. Do you wish to stay with us up here or go down into the tunnels? You look like a strong, capable fighter. You might see a little more action on this end of the field than down below.
Alright.
And how about you, Mud? You staying with us, or do you want to observe the new recruits to the tunnels?
Oh, I control Mud. I was just like, what's Shelby doing? Mud is gonna say, I've used the paths before, and I like it down there. If there's corruption in our own fortress, it needs to be weeded out, just like a stain being cleaned.
Fair enough, and having an Agram guard with our side, by our side, would help us get to and from places.
All right, so the party splits.
For now, unless Brandon
I'm gonna
wants
go
to
buy supplies. Mostly for the trap.
All right, so Ganil, Constance, Zevin, and Mud all head into the tunnels. Hunter and Madara
I
roam
thought
around.
Constance was staying with us.
Yeah.
Oh, Constance is staying with you. Okay. Oh, okay.
This was
So everybody who,
was-
is AFK is going into the tunnels.
That was what I was
Convenient.
trying to do for you, Brandon.
Yeah.
That's what we call a setup.
Let's go with that. All right. So,
Brandon, you're going off script, alright? You need to... Like, we wrote this earlier.
yeah, I was gonna say, if there ever was a script, no one informed me of it. But
By the
no,
way, I think JD's gone crazy.
JD is shady. Anyways, so the party splits up. Rissalix is going to take Zevin, Mud, and Ganil into private council. What does the rest of the party want to do as this is happening?
Sorry, I'm catching up on messages in the live campaign.
Hunter,
Yes.
I'm not the smartest of people you'll have talked to probably recently, but if they are after that book, would it not be wise to casually have it strung about in the open?
Well, we need.
Trap?
Well, in order to make it believable, like we need it to look like we're trying to protect it.
Yes, no, and I understand that, but having it strapped to either mine or Constance's waist, have it strapped to one of the bigger, more intimidating looking people would look pretty convincing as guarding, no?
Not quite. We're not officially with the guard. We're more hired muscle. It would make more sense if Mud had it.
But would it not be, since we're not officially with the guard, would it not be more convenient for them to attack random people on the street carrying their target?
I'm sorry, can you repeat? I'm having a hard time understanding here.
Long and short of it, my suggestion is have either me or Constance have the book strapped to our belt. So that way when we're walking through, they might think since we're not with the guard, we're not as much of a threat and an easier target to take out.
Well, my idea was actually, I wanted to go buy some leather bindings, but I wanted to make fake books of that book. And we could kind of all...
That's not a bad idea, but the problem with that is the rune is magical, and I don't know how to do that.
It doesn't actually have to be magical, it just has to look convincing.
It's hard to look convincing when the rune is literally moving. Yes?
This is something we can expand on later, but that is not a bad suggestion.
How about you, Constance? Any ideas for this situation?
Uh,
I apologize. You're very quiet. I'm kind of talking a lot.
no, it's alright. I'm not entirely really sure what I've gotten myself into, but it's alright.
That's something we've all have in common. We're just kind of, in a way, got drafted, and in another way.
It's not what I originally came to this land for, but it's something to do along the way.
Yes, and we know your disdain for these people, so it gives you an excuse to hunt them.
We've only met for like 2 days ago, and you already know me so well.
Well, the first time we met, you were spewing off about fuck the undead, fuck the Tadai.
I'm assuming you guys have left the Path Captain's office.
Yes.
Oh yeah, no, we're walking. This is like down the street. No, like, hey Captain, by the way, fuck your race. You're a bunch of scum. Sure, that will go over well.
You haven't very hidden your disdain for it, so it's not a hard thing to pick up.
I'm a monster hunter by trade, and they are undead, so by definition, they're monsters. And considering what they normally do outside of these lands, I think I'm allowed to have my opinions.
Just remember, friend, not all monsters are monsters. And some normal people are bigger monsters than anyone.
I find that man tends to be the biggest monsters and usually the ones we put down. It's not my first time dealing with cultists, and I'm sure it won't be my last if I survive this.
Well, if you don't, it will be.
Always looking on the bright side.
That's how death works.
I've been told I look at the world from a goblet half full view.
I find it's best to look at the goblet half empty. Always expect the worst.
Yes, expect the worst, hope for the best. So, what's the plan from here? We want to get some things.
Get some rope, basic bear traps. Possibly scout out an area that we could set up an ambush. I already have rope, but I can tell I'm going to need more, so... or just stocking up while we have the chance.
How about you, Constance? Do you know these lands very well?
No, this is the first time I've ever been here.
So I grew up in Heimsdale, so I'm not used to this area. I'm used to the region, not the city itself.
The city is new to me, but I grew up in the deserts. Outside. I'm used to roughing it out in the sand. So, despite all the undead, I'm actually relatively at home.
Well, my friend, home is where you make it.
Home is where we put the quiver down. Go.
So I guess we're going shopping.
We're going shopping. I'm specifically looking for like 100 feet of rope. Some components to make holy water. Which is silver.
Dust.
Silver dust, mostly.
But I don't think you can do that unless you're a cleric or a paladin.
Actually, as a... with the monster hunter, like,
Oh, okay.
I can request it.
Okay.
Because, it's weird. I'm a hunter, but I'm technically... Like, I'm not a cleric, but I technically work for a church. I'm the church's assassin. Hi.
Hi, Umiya sent me. You get no mercy.
Hey,
Oh no, it's basically like,
not an
my hello is
unrepentant-
that a quiver has just lodged itself in your shoulder.
A quiver? An entire quiver? That's awesome.
Oh, I'm sorry. A crossbow bolt. I forgot. What are things? Just like, no, I don't take my crossbow bolts out individually. I just load up the whole quiver.
All right.
See where they fly.
You can buy a pouch of silver shavings, 5 gold's worth of it, and you get God, I don't know what an ounce looks like.
How much gold did I start
You get
with?
about
I don't think I've got much.
5 gold of silver shavings will give you a pouch about the size of half a soda can. So what? That's like 4 ounces, I think.
Yeah. Well, I literally need like a tablespoon.
Okay, yeah, you can get a tablespoon.
Well, no, I want the pouch, but to make more holy water. Like I think the actual component you put into holy water is like a tablespoon, so that'll last me a while.
And then we'll say that pouch can.
I did not write down my starting goal, so
that pouch has enough silver in it to make 9 uses of holy water. Your holy water will have to be blessed by somebody.
I think the whole point of the components is to not have to have it blessed. Let me look this up. 1 second.
Okay.
Holy water's weird stuff to work with.
Holy water is because I'm not using like the priest version of holy water, because like priest can literally just take water and bless it,
Yeah.
and it will become holy water. But to make holy water for not a priest, this is why you're getting the silver powder and stuff. Is it in the player's handbook or the DM handbook? This item.
Holy water is in the player's handbook on page 151, I believe. Let me double check.
Well, I've got the book with me. I'm just
Holy water. Yeah, it just says how it works. Oh, but hey, it does a bunch of damage to fiends and undead.
Yeah.
Oh, a cleric or paladin may create holy water by performing a special ritual. The ritual takes 1 hour to perform, uses 25 gold powder worth of powdered silver, and requires the caster to expend 1 first level slot. So yeah, you still need to have somebody bless it. So yeah, you would need 25 gold worth of silver for it. So you need a big old pouch.
right. Actually, we might forget the silver powder. I don't think I have enough. And we might go with the. I mean, like, as my starter kit, I have 1 flask of it already, but. I wanted to possibly make more. I could have sworn there was a way you could make it without the
It
use.
might be an older edition.
It could be. I might be
Yeah.
thinking of 4th edition.
Takes that spell slot and that time.
Official. One second. Official equipment.
Alright, so rope,
Water.
holding off on the silver. Was there anything else you wanted to buy in town? You'll be able to find rope for trade. Let me see if you guys get any specific good deals on it. You can trade rope for its base price out of the player's handbook. And you would have to convert that to rubies, actually. So rope for one ruby piece will get you 50 feet of hemp rope.
That'll be fine.
Could I buy some arrows?
Yeah, you can. Especially here at Fort Dalewatch, the military would have extra ammunition. You could trade it to them for two ruby pieces for a bundle of 20 arrows.
Okay.
And then I am not proficient in wiki. I'm pretty sure that's all the money I can really spend, because the other thing I kind of wanted to get was Assassin's Blood, but it's a bit pricey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. Those poisons run through the roof.
Do you think it's wise to check out the home of the person who was taken?
It wouldn't be a bad idea to look it over.
I believe they said that he was on the north side of town.
The man that is missing was in service to the Relistrate. His name is Algoris Moonshine.
Lovely name.
Yes. Mr. Moonshine's abode. I believe it's on the north side of town.
I would tell you guys if you had somebody capable of remembering that with you. It is just you guys walking through this street. But do you guys want to head to the north side?
Yeah.
Alright. Yeah, you head to the north part of the city. Let us roll up a street name for this part of the city. You guys are going to see a small bazaar set up out here, and it is on the border of Fort Dalewatch's walls. trying to catch travelers coming in and out of the gates to the north part of the city, or the north part of the Darius Desert.
And I would also ask. I think I would ask, like, discreetly if we're like looking for.
You'd ask. What would you ask discreetly?
Basically where to find this place.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you're going to know. You're going to be informed that this guy was a minor servant to the Relistrate. He would have a small abode in just like the small housing. Oh man, I forgot the name of. Forgot the names of what those would be called. The small housing complex across from Fort Dalewatch. He would just have a small, like, almost dorm-like room that he'd stay here with several dozen other servants who work in and out of the fortress. He is his residence is back in the center of town.
I never said I was the best with directions.
The bazaar area that you guys are at, we are going to name this Winch Way. And
Wench Way, or
Winch Way.
as in like bar wench.
Yes.
Alright.
And it is just packed with stalls and people just, like, if you are exiting Fort Dalewatch to the north, you know, there are people trying to sell you weapons, people trying to sell you water, people trying to sell you birds, animals, scrolls, hats to shield you from the sun. Just this whole row is just a giant, or not giant, but a small bazaar. Do you guys head back to the center of the city?
Did you need anything from this bazaar, Constance?
Wait, I've already bought my arrows. Like,
Yeah, you do have your arrows.
okay.
Does Constance say anything?
She'll just shake her head.
Alright. So, as you guys start leaving this bazaar, this large woman's going to stumble up to the party. She has tattered clothes, and she has several weapons on her side. They look like little tiny needles, and she is going to, like, stumble to the party, and looks like she's been traveling through the desert for, like, days. She has scars and wounds that have, like, healed over. And she's gonna say, "Please, do you have anything to spare? I need to make my way back to Dagger Gully."
Make your way back to Dagger
I would
Gully.
like to make an insight check to make sure she's like not faking.
You can.
Make your
Like,
way
not
back.
being proficient, I'm actually pretty good at insight.
Mhm. Looking at this woman, it definitely, Hunter's seen signs of this before. It definitely looks like she was raided.
Why would you want to go back to that place? Very dangerous place, Daggett Valley.
She's going to look around and say, please, the lawlessness of the Clutch is nothing compared to is child's play compared to the Vale. Bandits raided our caravan to the north. We were bringing trade goods here for the bazaars.
Well, going back by yourself, you would be an easier target, and you'd probably end up dead.
She's going to shake her head and say, no, I know where they came from. I can avoid it this time. I just need food for the travels.
If you're really going to try to make this trek, here, let me give you this, and I'll hand her 5 days rations.
I'm going to, like, stick a hand out, and it's like, you give her those, you're more than likely sending her off to her own death. Might be more merciful just to leave her as is. She might give up.
Or she might go anyways and die on the way.
Well, in that case, why waste the supplies?
You're both making valid points. But in good conscience, I would have to agree with Constance. At least if she has some strength from food, she can make a more of a fighting chance.
She's going to thank Constance. Actually, how tall is Constance?
How tall am I?
Yeah.
5'8".
Okay. Yeah, she's gonna be just, she's gonna be almost a half a head taller than Constance, just like bowing to her and saying, "Thank you, you're so generous. If you ever need a favor, if you make it to Dagger Gully, ask for the name Makara the Great."
It's nothing. I'm glad I could help you. And I hope you have a safe trip.
She laughs and says, "Safe!" And she's going to look towards the gate and say, "Just stay off the northern roads. Head east and then north."
Makara?
Yes. I can spell it for you real quick. Macarah.
I wasn't even close.
Makara.
I had the first 2 letters right. Because fuck Brandon and his spelling mannerisms.
Like,
you earn the boon of charity.
Oh.
I'm kidding.
So, we should probably get back to our travels, because we diverted ourselves a little too far from our path.
Alright. So you guys head to the center of the city?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, pointing to where the servants stay. They're going to live above the shops and inns of the streets, in the like small little upper rooms above these floors wherever space can be rented. Talking to the innkeep who would own the building that Algoris lived in. He is... give me 1 second. I need to grab my race card. Aw, yeah, buddy.
He needs to grab his 20 d20s.
Like, how many people are here? Let's find out.
So evens 1, or no, okay, odds 1, evens 2. Cool. This guy that you're talking to has huge, almost emerald eyes, and he's going to say, you're looking for Algoris. Hasn't been by in months. You want to get into his place, you got to pay his rent.
We are on duty of the path captain.
Large word.
And he's gonna say path captain, schmath captain.
I'm going to draw my companion back a little bit, and it's just like, we kill him and hide the body in the back.
Believe it or not everything needs to be solved with violence.
Alright, real quick, before we go on, does anybody have an intelligence that is 10 or greater?
No, not here.
Yes.
Not on.
Hunter, give me a free history check. DC 12. So as you're like debating this, and you have like your hand on Madara's shoulder, and you're just like talking to her, your eyebrow's gonna go up, and you're gonna just like look back a little bit, and the thought's gonna go through your head like, wait, didn't this guy just disappear this week? He hasn't paid rent in months? Or he hasn't been here in months?
Oh. I'm gonna lean back over, and it's like, I want you to be very calm and to follow my lead. And then I'm gonna whip around and shoot him, casting Entangling.
On Dendev?
Oh,
On this guy.
Okay. So roll me a attack roll.
Hand crossbow, because I want him alive.
Alright.
Ooh, not great.
Well, he's a commoner. And he has 4 hit. He has a 1d4 plus 1 of HP. Roll damage.
Wow. Also, Entangling Arrow.
I don't think that's gonna matter.
oh my god.
Well, because I'm not aiming for the knee. This is more like...
What's your
I'm aiming
minimum?
for, like, the biggest body of mass. So.
What's your minimum damage?
My minimum damage is, like...
It's 1d6 plus. Yeah, so go ahead and
It's
roll.
1d... Yeah, 1d6.
He's got 5
1d6
HP.
plus 2, so...
He believes in himself.
He believes in himself.
You know what? I also happen to be decent at medicine, so we can say
I'm not gonna. I don't want to watch this roll.
Scared.
Alright. So yeah, he's just like, yeah,
Poor
if
dude.
you're coming by looking for Algoris, you better pay his rent. That he hasn't paid me, and then you just turn around and no. He starts spasming. He is rolling death saving.
as
throw.
like the vines tangle around him.
Alright. You guys have 6 seconds for actions. I'll extend the rounds to 15 seconds. Every 15 seconds, I'm rolling another death saving throw for him.
I will do a medicine check on him.
And I will try to help.
So with advantage.
Alright. Go ahead and roll me a medicine check with advantage.
Natural 20.
Alright. So, you're...
I'm good at what I do. And that's hurting people.
Alright. So, you're gonna step into this inn, start talking to the tavern keep, and then just like talk to Madara, turn around and shoot him! Kill him against the wall, And then everybody in the tavern's going to stop and start looking at you guys as you jump over the wall and you stabilize his body. He is
basically I grab like basically like I have like a bandage already ready.
He is stabilized, but
lift him up over my shoulder, and I'm going to take him to the back room.
You guys are not alone in here. Let's see how populated this place is.
You did not say that beforehand.
Well, this is a tavern key.
Oh, I thought this was just a building. I didn't think this was a tavern.
So he lives, the servants live above. So, like, hold on, example. So, like, if these are the bazaars and stuff that you guys are walking through and trading, and these are kind of like the taverns and stuff you guys are staying at, the servants live in, like, these little tiny upper rooms up here of just barely even a place to live. And so you guys are in the bottom floor of one of these buildings. And you're talking to the person who owns the building, and he's just like, yeah, I rent the space above my building to this guy, and then you shot him.
Hunter.
By the way, I, like, after stabilizing, pick him up, and I'm, like, taking him to the back room.
Hunter. What did we just discuss about violence?
That it works great.
Alright, so, as,
You realize there's about probably 20 people who just saw that.
It's okay, we're working for the guard. They won't arrest us. They won't arrest us if it's under investigation. We believe that he might have a connection that's very, very important.
Alright, so, this place is about half full. There's about 20 patrons in here, and it was, like, pretty rowdy, and there was a band, playing. About over half of these patrons saw what you just did. The band went silent. All eyes fall on you, and as you, like, put this guy over your shoulder and start toting him off, a couple of these armed patrons are going to get up and start walking towards the back, towards, like, where you guys gone. Does Hunter continue walking out with this guy?
Nothing to see here. Go back to your drinks.
Just like official business.
Alright. Two of these patrons are going to get up.
Have any complaints? Talk to the magistrate.
Yeah.
Absolutely going to
Two of them are going to keep walking until they're, like, face to face with Madara.
Oh no, I'm still walking. This is, like, over my shoulder.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm saying if Madara's staying back, yeah, they're going to keep walking until they're, like, face to face with her at the counter. Well, one looks lovely, and let's see the other one. We're just rolling these up randomly. All right. So, God, everybody's rolling up tall. This is the land of giants.
Short. Jesus.
Yeah. And so one of them's gonna match Madara's height. The other one, and it's gonna be kind of like a stocky duo of bodyguard and person guarding them. And the tall woman is gonna be, like, standing over Madara, looking down. And at this standoff for a moment, the other one is going to reach over the counter, hit off a barrel's sport. Nope, that's not the word I'm looking for. Spout. There we go, and just yell, "Free drinks!" Everybody is going to start rushing the bar.
Madara will kick off another one of the barrels. Enjoy, my friends.
Mm-hmm.
She'll grab a glass and fill up one and walking in the back.
All right, a crowd swarms over the what is left of the bar, as people are trampling this wood, breaking it apart, and getting to all the stuff behind here.
Might as well see if there's any coin or ruby pieces sitting there.
Not this guy's day.
Is there, like, a satchel of money or ruby pieces nearby?
No, we should rob him while we're here. Might as well.
Oh my god.
Attempted murder and robbery. Why not?
Yeah, you're gonna find. you're gonna find a satchel of 28 ruby pieces.
Alright.
God, if any of y'all like look at Connie at this moment, there's just a look of complete regret. Just, oh God.
Oh, too late for that, dear.
I have a subjective preference, darling. I was against the shooting of the man.
Not robbing. Not robbing.
Neither robbing. No, I didn't even suggest that. He did that on his own. I'm so proud of him.
To be fair, robbery is a less... They're gonna look past the robbery and look straight toward the attempted murder.
It's just like, no, they'll think it's like one of the patrons when like they all started rushing the counter.
The tavern keep is going to wake up in 4 hours.
We're just gonna chill out.
You have healing spells.
Wait, you said Hunter has healing spells?
No, I said who. No, Hunter does not. Why would I have...
Genhill
Why would I
has
have
healing
that?
spells. She is in
Because you're a ranger.
Yeah.
I'm a ranger. No, rangers don't have healing spells.
Your cleric...
Rangers can get cure wounds.
They can, but your cleric of life is currently exploring
Not with
deep dark tunnels.
Ooh.
Just
boy.
Deep, dark, spooky tunnels.
tie him up and we'll go upstairs.
What spells do I have? Ensnaring Strike, Hunter's Mark, Protection from Good and Evil, Snare, Hellish Rebuke, Thaumaturgy.
I can hit him. That's it.
No, that wouldn't help.
No, I don't think it would.
Just tie him up and we'll go upstairs on our own. I don't think he's going to stop us anymore.
I am going to tie him to like a chair.
All right. That'll show you to be helpful.
Okay, I'll be honest. In that situation, I misunderstood what you said, and I thought you said like, "Wait, this is his house," and it's like this whole other.
He was thinking it was public housing, not.
Yeah, not a tavern.
That's fair.
But you know, I was already committed, so.
Yeah, that's fair. All right. So.
Hunter,
Oh, go
do me a
ahead.
favor. Hunter, do me a favor next time. Please don't shoot the person we're talking to until we either get the information or he really pisses us off. Not you, us. Yes?
I'll consider it.
Does he have any keys, like, on his belt for the rooms or anything like that?
Yeah,
Oh,
you'll be able to find a keychain.
Speaking of which,
somewhere.
for the room, thank you for reminding me. I'm going to cast Snare in front of the door.
Okay.
So basically, you just see me get out all the rope I just bought, cut up like 10 feet of it, put it in a circle, and then like I just kind of point at it and I speak in deep speech. And the rope becomes invisible.
All right. Heading up into this room, you are going to open the door, and just like the tavern keep said, there's just going to just as soon as you open the door, the breeze is just going to blow sand across the floor, sand and dust, as this place hasn't been cleaned in ages. It hasn't been, nobody's been here in a long time. There are sheets of parchment scattered across the floor and the desk. It looks like whoever was living here left in a hurry. The room is kind of a mess.
He went missing a week ago, but this room looks like it hasn't been lived in ages. If Mud was here, he'd have a conniption from the dirt alone.
I quite like it. It reminds me of my training days.
I'm gonna start picking up some of the papers on the floor and trying to go
I'm
over
going to
them.
be making just a general sweep of the room.
Okay.
Or can,
Constance, you want to help me try to make heads or tails of some of these notes?
Sure.
also, when I'm done with my check of the room, I'm going to pull out my little black book and start jotting some stuff down.
Okay. For those notes, go ahead and give me a investigation check as you guys start picking them up and trying to piece them together.
Oh, that's much better. Thank you.
Oh, okay. That was for Hunter, and Hunter is what's Hunter looking for again?
Hunter's the ranger, or
Yeah.
what are you talking about?
Yeah. What are you looking for in the room? Because
Things that would
oh, go ahead.
documents, anything to really tell me about this guy.
Okay.
Maybe like if he had any important connections other than what the public knows.
Okay, and go ahead and give me one for Madara and Constance.
Are we doing that individually, or do I get advantage because Constance is helping?
It is up to you guys.
I got a -1, so
Yeah, I do too.
Wah, wah.
just have you want to roll it with advantage, or do you want me to?
You go for it.
This is the Brainy Squad. Not because you guys are smart, just because you guys hit other people in the face and their brains like smash all over you.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
I haven't hit a single person yet.
Alright, so investigating this. So you guys are going to start going through these documents, and you're going to see this man is who you assumed he is. He worked with the Relistrate, specifically taking his decrees and filing them and giving them to everybody else in this area. And a lot of his these documents are just contacts who need to talk to the Relistrate. Just reaching out to him to schedule stuff. Looking through these, you guys are going to notice that there is Hunter is going to notice specifically the Relistrate. Or rather, this man was in constant contact with somebody from a town called Winwood. It would be a history check if any of you guys know where that's at, but
I mean, I'll go for it. I don't know if I'll know anything.
Is that an open check, or?
Yeah. If your character is from this region, it's going to be DC 14. If they're not from this region, it's DC 17.
I'm from Heimsdale, so...
I don't think any of us are from this region, but I'm familiar with how deserts work.
I'm not even familiar with that. God.
I was gonna say,
It's my favorite terrain.
Probably the closest with Heimsdale, wouldn't I?
Yeah, I'll put you at a 15.
15?
Go for it.
Nope.
We don't know what it is.
Wait, I set it at 14 for Hunter. Hunter's from the desert. You are... What? Are you?
I didn't think so.
Oh, I thought you said your character was raised in the desert.
Well, I'm familiar with the desert, not this desert.
Oh, okay, fair. Okay, yeah, so, Winwood's going to, just evade, each of you of, like, have I heard that before? I don't know where that's at. Anyways, he was in contact with somebody from, Winwood. One person, specifically, and then, constant string of contacts, and then, another person only one contacted twice. These letters are months old.
We should probably take these with us and show them to the higher ups. They'd have a better chance of knowing.
By the way, real quick, the information you guys are getting off of these letters. The information Madara and Melissa find are requests at diplomatic talks with a military leader from Winwood with the Relistrate. And the form that Hunter reads is specifically asking about the well-being of Savannah.
Savannah.
Savannah is the child
The little
who
girl.
is missing.
Yeah.
It is from a apothecary. And discusses medicine.
I think we should take these with us. Yes?
Yep.
Yep.
And we should probably let the path captain know that doesn't seem anyone has been in this room in months. Which raised the question, where has he been staying? And for that matter, now that I think of it, what does a servant need with a servant?
I think it's more of a hierarchy.
Yes, but...
Makes him feel more important.
Yeah, the Relistrate's like the mayor. This guy was like his secretary.
She said she stayed with him, but... There's no one been here.
Maybe they stayed somewhere else.
But why would he stay somewhere else? The question.
And where is that someone else?
Maybe he thought he was in danger here. I don't know.
If he thought he was in danger, why didn't he report it to the guard? Unless it's something that would get him in trouble as well.
Again, I think we should talk to the path captain about this, because these aren't adding up in my head, and that doesn't sit well with me.
The two contacts. Madara and Constance can add 3 letters to their inventory. You each can divide them up however you want. Your letters are from somebody named are a correspondence between the Algoris and somebody named Sword Captain Talcor. And Hunter can add a letter to his inventory. His is with an apothecary by the name of Felissa Fallsong.
All right, I'm actually going to copy what the letter says down in my black journal.
Okay.
Yeah, so why don't you take the letters?
Well, no, basically, I'm going to be copying what they say.
Okay.
If
Felissa.
you'll let me see them.
Oh, okay. Felissa's
And
letter.
that'll take some time, but
Okay. Do you do it here or?
I don't see a reason why we can't do it here.
Okay. Do Constance and Madara want to do anything while Hunter copies those letters?
I had no plans of doing anything special with the letters. I don't know if you did, Melissa.
No.
By the way, I'm writing when I'm copying them. I will be writing it in deep speech.
Okay. It doesn't exactly translate, as there aren't the necessary articles or verbs in some areas, but for the most part, you're able to do it in a way that you understand.
It's something that I understand.
Yeah. It's like, alright, so is that Usted?
No, like, I imagine
Ustedes?
you guys looking over my shoulders, like, so, how's it going? What is that?
Don't look at it, it'll make you roll madness checks.
No, basically, it's just, like, something that I can understand and you can't.
Alright, so Constance and Madara just wait for Hunter to finish?
I'm going to just keep watch in case someone did decide to follow us up here.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a flat intelligence check for Hunter. And that it's not going to affect the information you copy or anything. It just affects how fast you do it.
Ooh, I am taking my time with this.
Yeah. All right. I will roll you. So these conversations are pretty lengthy. The letters are going to take you a total of an hour and a half to copy down.
You know what? That's not bad because we're still waiting for
yeah,
our friend to wake up.
Yeah. So all in all, you guys are going to be about 2 hours into your time of him sleeping. Copying these letters more detail. You're going to know what Captain Talcor and the Relustrate, I forgot his exact name off the top of my head, what they were in discussion of is almost minor treason on both of their parts, as their Fort Dalewatch and Wynwood are in very close proximity to each other, and a striking force of the Heimsdale army is stationed inside of Wynwood. However, the captain doesn't express any interest in an open war between with the Darken Vale coming to Wynwood, and so he is proposing a ceasefire just in this specific region, and is willing to meet on neutral grounds to negotiate it. From Algoris's writing, there's nothing here from the Relustrate. From Algoris's writing, the Relustrate seems willing to entertain these conversations. Felissa's letter goes in depth, talking about Savannah, and specifically how she earned the Undying Empress, or how she nearly missed the Undying Empress's blessing, and if the Empress has came back to visit her at all, her current health, and how she is faring, living on desecrated lands, and basically just very in-depth interest in the child. And you learn, obviously, because you're writing every word of the letter, you read each of the 4 letters. But yeah, 2 hours pass, you have that information copied down.
Alright.
We all set?
Good to go.
We should probably get out of here before he wakes up.
Oh, I thought we were going to ask him questions.
I think the questions they're asking were already answered by coming up here, no?
Ah, true.
Are we gonna leave him tied up?
Someone will find him eventually.
Alright.
We can untie him at least and let him wake up on his own accord.
Alright, so you guys untie the Tavern Keep?
We'll untie the Tavern Keeper, and I'll be nice, and I will throw him on the bed.
I'll be nice after I killed him.
He's not dead yet.
Alright, yeah, you throw him on the bed. His bloody, gored body is gonna lie there. Barely breathing. But breathing nonetheless.
Face down.
Alright, so...
We should go.
In case you're wondering, no, I'm not sorry.
I feel like Willow is out there saying right now, like, it's not a crime unless you get caught.
Ooh, okay.
Alright, where do you guys want to go from here?
We should probably head back to the pack captain and reveal some of this information, yes?
That doesn't sound too bad.
Sounds good to me.
Alright, so as you guys step out of this upper room and down the stairs into the inn rooms and then into the tavern, this place is going to have erupted. Which was once a just barely tamed, like, rowdy crowd. The band has several broken instruments. The vampire that took the drinks in the first place is dancing on the table. Are there dead people around her? Above 75% there are. Nope, below 70% there are no dead people around her. The larger woman who stocked up to Madara is sitting at the table that she is dancing on. She is reading? Let me look at her character card. There we go.
Question mark?
Yeah, she is sitting there reading while the other lady is dancing. What's left of the band is fending off several drunk patrons trying to take their instruments. There is a puddle of ale, booze, and some alcoholic concoction just splattered over the floor that you guys are walking through. It is mud, blood, and beer.
Damn, we missed a good time.
Are there any leftover bottles anywhere?
I was about to say, I'm going to take, like, any unsmashed bottles, I'm going to take one and walk out with it.
Yeah.
Let's see, above 80%, you guys will be able to find one. Below 80%, it is 58. This place is, I'd say slowly. It is devolving into more and more chaos. The patron who is sitting down reading, the large woman, somebody's going to come up behind her to try and, like, take her necklace, like, a hand out and just like, ah! And the vampire on the table is going to kick him in the face. Just fluid motion through her dance. And man's just going to drop on his back.
You two are,
they're a little further away from you.
Madara will walk up to him. And just with a smile on her face, you two are a good team.
The vampire on the table is going to look down and say, "What?" Stopping her dance.
No, keep dancing. I don't want to interrupt your fun.
Yeah, she shrugs and goes back to it. Barely able to hear you over this mounting chaos. And hold on here, we can play this. Do you guys want to go someplace else, or?
Melissa's asking about those
Is there
Oh.
a drinking age?
Is there tricky?
I
don't
but hell,
think
this
there's-
place is already
Isn't Connie
kinda
like
gone.
23? I think.
Oh,
I don't think you have to worry about a drinking
Yeah.
age when
You're fine.
there's just nothing but chaos going on.
yeah,
Mud's the cops, and he's not here.
right.
Oh yeah, no, because I'm sure Mud would have been fine with the events that went down.
All right. So where do you guys want to head from here?
Probably back to the keep. Yes.
Fort Dale Watch.
Yeah. See if we can talk to the path captain.
All right.
And
So
if they're not letting us in, then probably into the tunnels to try to find Mud.
yeah. So getting into Fort Dale Watch without Mud is going to be a event unto itself. Roll me a persuasion check, and we'll just fast forward through this. If you beat DC 16, you're able to get an audience with the path captain. If you want to add like how Madara would be trying to argue with any of like these zombie guards, or her constants, like how they debate, I will lower the DC if you say anything relevant.
We were here earlier. We were talking with the path captain, and he asked us to help in finding the missing people that were taken by the cultists. We might have prevalent information to some of the events going on.
All right, roll me that persuasion check.
Boom!
18. And the zombie you're talking to is gonna say, "Path Captain left. They'll take you to the new one."
Thank you very much.
All right. You are led through the fortress back to the path captain's office overlooking the market row. Is he in here? Of course he is. And Risalix has all of his maps up, and his office is going to look slightly more furnished. He has a barrel of water in here, some ingots of different metals stacked in the corner, a weird looking stone bowl. It is slowly being populated. That said, Risalix is going to look up and say, I didn't expect to see you back so soon. How fortuitous.
We try to work fast.
And he's going to nod and say, your companions are exploring the atrium. It's where they'll be stationed.
Excellent. We might have found some information. We went and checked out the, how do you say his name? The scribe. His abode. And a couple of inconsistencies showed up. For one, he hadn't been living there in several months. The person who owned the place he was living at said he hasn't been there or paid rent in several months. And then when we went to check out the room itself, it looked very confirmed that he hadn't been there in a very long time.
He's gonna fold his arms and say, I don't like this. And he's gonna look and say, damn it, Felissa, what did you get me into? And he's gonna say, did you find anything of note in his room?
We did. Notes. And, Constance, you have the notes that me and you are going over, yes?
Oh, yes. I'll pull them out.
Oh, by the way, the Relistrate's name is Cachero. That was, I was looking for that and just found it. Alright, so...
Concerto.
Rislix is going to, look at the, notes, skimming them, and he's, going to say, hey, this... title, Sword Captain Talcor. That's a Heimsdale officer.
Yeah. Wait, what? He says he was from Westwind.
Say that again?
I believe it says in the notes that he was from Westwind.
Winwood. Winwood was the,
Winwood.
Yeah. And he is going to, nod and say, yeah, that's a border city of Heimsdale. Borders the desert and, the forest of Jan Baharan.
So, yeah, that's one of the... Did I just drop? Nope, I didn't drop. Where'd Melissa go? Why'd she jump up to guess?
Hold on here, I'll move her back here. Hey, Melissa, did you mean to switch channels?
No.
Oh, okay, cool.
I just heard the ding and I'm like, where'd she go?
Yeah.
Sorry.
And gone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's gonna say, yeah, Winwood's a Heimsdale town.
Sorry, 1 second.
So...
I'll be right back, give me 2 seconds.
Okay. While this conversation is happening, who's Hunter thinking about shooting?
Having a hard time deciding, actually.
All these words could have been arrows exchanged.
No, yeah, it's like, man, this could have been so much quicker if we shot him in the knee, tied him to a chair, and beat the answers out of him.
Even though he's on your side.
The only side there is my side.
I just imagine Hunter saying, like, goodnight to his party, and he's, like, tucking Constance in, gives her a kiss on the forehead, then pulls out a crossbow bolt and shoots her in the elbow. It's like, good night! That's just how I say goodbye!
No, goodbye! Now, if this was goodbye as I was leaving the party, that would have been in your heart.
I want you to remember me.
I can't do that if I'm dead.
Sure you can. There's an afterlife, I'm sure. Somewhere. One of them can't be lying. They can't all be liars. One of them has to be true.
Okay, they're laughing for some reason.
Welcome back. Alright, so, the Path Captain informed you that Winwood is a Heimsdale town, and Sword Captain Talcor is a Heimsdale military officer.
You'd think I would have known that. Anyways.
Anyway, we'll go pay him a visit, shoot them in the knee, and we'll be on our way.
No.
Does Hunter say that?
No,
Oh,
I'm
okay.
joking. That is not in character, no.
We, Hunter, you, picked up some notes as well, yes?
Oh, did I not give him those? I thought I did.
Oh, yeah, he would, read, Felissa's, note, too.
Here, catch! Like, strap it to a crossbow bolt.
Yeah.
Sorry, I haven't
very
taken.
triggered.
I haven't taken monk levels yet.
And he's like, yeah, at this, he's gonna say, huh, a lot of good this does. Would have been nice, to know this was happening anytime sooner.
The problem I see with these notes with the child is such a odd thing to find so close to her kidnapping, yes?
He's gonna well, I mean, he's gonna nod at it and say yes, but the fact that it was months ago is what concerns me.
Yeah, it concerns me as well.
And he's gonna speak up and say, but all these people, they're dead regardless.
No point in thinking about the past. Now we think about the future and what we're going to do.
And that brings us to our next point. Something else we realized while we were looking at these notes. Our new friend, our captive, she said she was staying with the scribe before he was taken. But there had been no one living in that home in months. It looked like he just abandoned it in a haste. There was stuff thrown about and papers just thrown askew across the floor. And in documents like these, if they're further illustrate and such important documents as they seem to be, you wouldn't just leave these lying about and never return for them.
And he's going to nod and say, I wonder what that man knew.
Which brings me to, where was he and she staying? Because she said she was living with him, but there was no way anyone was living there.
Unless they weren't in that building.
Yes,
She just said she was living with him. She never said it was there.
That's my sentiments exactly. So if we use her, we might be able to find where he was staying and maybe a little bit more information.
He's going to nod and say, I'll handle this part of the investigation. I believe you're chasing a lead that's irrelevant. We now know why he was kidnapped. And the path captain's gonna walk up to the table, putting a finger on it, and saying, the Ilderon took very specific people. I don't know the details of it specifically, but Winwood was destroyed just over a week ago, almost 2 weeks ago.
Not that much before he was taken.
He nods and says, it turns out the Shatterer, Olivia, was lying, lurking in the town. That said, if the cultists are such fanatics about her, they probably took him because they thought he had insight into maybe something she was doing, but regardless, he's just a assistant to the Relistrate. How naive they can be.
Well, if he had direct contact with someone in there and she was there, maybe it's not too far of a stretch to assume he might have had more information that he wasn't revealing. It makes sense why he started going into hiding.
It's like he could very well have been working for them, for all we know. This evidence definitely makes him a suspect.
When we find him,
and he's going to nod and saying, "That's why." Ooh, excuse me. And he's gonna say, "That's why I say leave it to me." Your goal was it not to find and weed out these cultists?
yes. We were hoping his home would have more clues to lead us to them. And that doesn't seem to have bore fruit, but it seems to have
I
at least...
disagree. It seems to have pointed us in the right direction.
it pointed us in a direction. Now we just need to discern which way it is.
Oh, actually, speaking of which, do you know where this town is?
Winwood?
Yeah.
It's in
Destroyed.
Heimsdale.
Yeah, but where's Heimsdale?
Oh, I can move you to a map. You can
Someplace I want to check out.
You can actually watch Group B's session of this town being destroyed before it is. So, you are in...
So wait, is this before the destruction of Group B or after?
Yeah, so Group B destroyed this town on the 30...
We did not.
Okay, sorry. Group B abandoned this town before it was destroyed on the 34th of Priestess. That's last month.
Hela was the one that called Elizabeth in to destroy this town.
It is currently the next month. Months are 40 days long. So it is the 4th of Hunter. It was destroyed 8 plus 4, 12 days ago.
Oh, actually, that wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
Surprised we didn't hear about that. Or we did, and we forgot about it because it's been like a month since we last met.
Well, everybody, I think it's in your guys' card that the Shatter was like fought back by let's see, it is right here. So Fort Dalewatch is where you guys are at, right here. It is one of the only places that it is a fortress because of the paths underneath it. It is very hard for Heimsdale or anybody to take this town and keep it for any amount of time without the Agram Guard showing up and raiding the town and taking it back because of all of the winding secret passages underneath it. This fortress right here, however, is called Fort Firerise. It teeter-totters back and forth between Heimsdale and the Darken Vale. I believe currently the Darken Vale is in control of it. Just on the other side of that fortress is Winwood. Winwood can see that fortress on the horizon. So, the Agram Guard have Fort Firerise right now, and the Relistrate was possibly in involved in peace talks with Winwood. And then Winwood was destroyed.
Because they are harboring the Undyne Empress. Unbeknownst to them, probably. Anyways. So, I think we can leave this to you then, and we'll continue our luring of these cultists out into the open.
He nods and says, if you find anything else of concern, please don't hesitate to bring it to my attention. I'll let Relistrate Cachero know about these.
Yes, just so I know, in case it comes to blows, do you want the occultist left alive or just purged from existence?
Or at the very least, maybe the most important one of the group.
He's gonna nod and say, if you could relieve them of that terrible burden of breathing.
What was that?
He said, if you could relieve them of that terrible burden of breathing, I'm sure everybody would be thankful.
Not a problem. I didn't know if you wanted one or two alive for questioning purposes.
He's gonna shake his head and say, from our scouts' information, Olivia's not working with anybody. She's not doing anything since she's back here. These fanatics are on their own, and the Shatterer should never be worshipped for what she's done to this world.
Yes.
There's nothing of value they can provide us.
Okay.
I disagree. I think that we can take a few and have them lead us towards the nest.
Madara is just gonna hard pan look over at Hunter.
We want these cultists gone, don't we?
Are you suggesting you don't kill someone?
Of course not. We'll kill them after we get the information.
It's called experience. He just learned from his,
Listen, no, we don't ever keep them alive. We just get what we need from them and then we kill them.
That's fair.
Alright? We're professionals, alright? We're not a charity.
That sounds more like what I'm used to with you now. Alright, we should see if our friends have managed to get some clout for us going.
Fuck, I didn't expect to hear. I just had a car drive by. I did not expect to hear clout.
How do you guys feel about ending there for the night?
I think that's a good spot because we're gonna, when we get back together, we'll probably have Mud back with us at that point.
Okay. Yeah. Is everybody okay with meeting on the 28th, or do you want to break until the new year?
On the what?
The 28th?
The 28th.
Isn't that Christmas?
The Christmas is on the 25th.
25th.
We can break until the new year.
I'm gonna have to check my schedule. I'm not sure if I can.
Okay.
I should be okay.
Well, this
I'll
group
get
is
back to you on that.
smaller now, so since it's you guys plus Shelby, if you just let me know when you're available, we'll be good. All right. So, experience for tonight.
I shot a lot of people.
Yeah.
Did.
Sorry, I kind of took the reins on all that, guys.
No, it's fine. I didn't really have anything to add.
Yeah, I didn't either.
You added arrows to people's knees.
I added bolts to people's legs. You know, sometimes people just need a third leg made of wood.
It's been a long time since I've, really long time. So let me look at your EXP threshold so I know what to give you guys properly. Let's see.
Tried my best to make it so you didn't have to control 20 NPCs.
Oh, I don't care, especially with this group because, you guys told me before in the last group that it gets kind of stressful having to do all the role-playing just with the smaller group. So I've just kind of taken a liberty more to have characters and NPCs doing things in the forefront to give you guys a break. Because I will sit here and talk to myself for an entire hour, but
I know, I've seen you do it.
Only fun for one person.
You know, how are we going to get in here? Okay, listen, follow my lead. Bang!
Brandon.
Imagine until I get a real gun.
I've sat there and watched you do an entire 20-minute exposition dump between 3 people.
I don't know if they could hear us today. By the way, I see that live chat. What's so funny about we're professionals?
Okay, so experience for tonight. You guys found out Algoris was in contact with Winwood.
Was a spy. Just easiest way to say it. He was a spy.
Wasn't a spy.
You know,
although I wish I was smart enough to write him as a spy.
It makes sense that he's a spy.
Algoris was the main focus of tonight. What else did you guys discover? Oh, Chuskin's book. Gosh, that was something I wanted to dive more into. That you will have the opportunity to in the future.
I did want to dive more into that. I haven't decided quite how I want to set up the trap yet. Oh, you know what I just realized? Back at that room, I set the snare spell. It's still there.
What's its duration? 8 hours?
8 hours.
Nice.
Oh, he's gonna
wake up, walk out, and die.
Wake up, walk towards the door. The spirit's going to tie him up. He's gonna fall down the stairs.
Alright. Let's see. What else did you guys do? So, Chuskin's book, Algoris. There was a...
Killed an innkeeper.
Yeah, there's a bunch of in-between information tonight. If there's one more event that happened, but I didn't explicitly spell it out, did anybody put it together?
Did anybody put what together?
There was
was it about the person who was saying... Wait. You said these notes were months ago, right?
Yeah, the notes were from months ago.
Okay, then why was the apothecary saying it sucks that the little girl was not chosen as Elizabeth's next person, because she didn't decide that until she got Jessica.
Elizabeth chose Jessica years ago. Jessica.
I thought she chose.
Jessica spawned in the Earthfire on Galkin, and
I thought she chose Jessica when she saved her from Elizabeth, or from Olivia.
No, nobody ever asked Jessica how she got to Cedal. They're just like, oh, cool, you spawned on Galkin and now you're here. And it's like, yeah, I am. But no, that was not it. Chuskin specifically wanted you guys to take a path, escorting her to safety.
Yeah, I think it was also best that we didn't mention about the bar.
Oh, it's the path the bandits are jumping people on. Take
the
left and then the north.
I don't think that barkeep is going to live, but, it wasn't my intention to kill him.
I'm going to give you guys minor experience for that. So, 450 experience for tonight's session.
Are we still broadcasting, by the way, or are we done?
Yes, just doing experience, and we will discuss when your next session is. Thank you, everybody, for watching. And I am super happy that we got to play this campaign again, because it is a lot of combat, it is a lot of political intrigue, and it is a lot of just very, very fun everything in this region.
I do happen to really like political intrigue and combat.
It's a lot of combat, and we have yet to get into one fight.
Well, actually, so since we
could have gotten in a fight with those guys at the bar if we chose to attack first. I was debating it.
Since I'm not broadcasting anymore, well, I am broadcasting, but I'll just have it like on the title screen. I'm going to question mark this, and I'm going to...
I'm guessing we had a huge chance for a fight tonight.
I've had your boss rolled up for some time. For at least the first group.
Ooh, she looks nice.
Yeah, that was the person. Chuskin was describing. So,
What's what?
I said that was the person Chuskin was describing.
Ah.
So,
How
yeah.
much was it tonight? 450.
450. Oh, and before we end giving out experience, I am going to give inspiration to Constance for the gift of charity of just like, guys, can we just be nice to these people? Nobody wants to be in the dark and veil.
I was being nice because I was pretty sure she was just going to kill herself.
All right.
So maybe she would stop if we didn't do it. Or, worst case scenario, we lose nothing.